NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bills and the Chiefs on Monday Night Prime Time.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you think about our quarterback matchup here. We've got a couple of guys who are definitely dangerous when you get down near the red zone. Josh Allen of the Bills, Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs.
And you use the perfect word there, Brandon, dangerous. Yeah, they're dangerous just about anywhere on the field, but the red zone, that's where they absolutely excel, and I think it's because they can keep defenses off balance. You know they can run, you know they can pass. The RPOs come into play, but the biggest thing is when the pocket breaks down, they can create something out of nothing and sting a defense.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
From the 25 on second down, Allen, he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there on the catch and run. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Come on now.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Singletary, and he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bills are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 49-yard line. Here comes Edwards-Helaire on the toss right. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. A.J. Klein on the tackle there. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story as he was approaching 19 miles an hour on that one. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 36. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Again, Edwards-Helaire. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out and giving the ball back to their offense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Time to go to work. Let's go. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Defense wins championships, baby. 58's the most.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Personal foul. This is roughing the passer. Defense.
Unbelievable.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on a touchdown pass. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor. Well, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the counter, this is Singletary. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. They'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, Big-time play.
Now the red challenge flag makes an appearance as Andy Reid wants a second opinion. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. Fighting through it, he's got space. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Singletary, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Alex Okafor able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match. And maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's Kelsey on the ground. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw pulled in by Robinson here.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On first down, Mahomes locates Hardman for another catch. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Now it's Mahomes again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hill. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camp. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind, trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
From the 40 now on second down. Allen. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
To the air, Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. They will run with Singletary. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll run on 1st down. Singletary, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Bass is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City.
Isaiah McKenzie is back deep for the Bills.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Allen going to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Flush to his right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now Allen again. Sanders got it. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills have retaken the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Bills. And it's been the running game that's pushed them to this lead at halftime. Over 100 yards as a team in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Second and 11.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You talk about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Second and 7, operating from the 34.
From the gun, it's Allen. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd down and 7.
Mahomes going to throw.
He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire.
And down he'll go at the 25.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Mahomes now on 1st down.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Now Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Let's go.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes.
He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. Nifty move. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. A nice little juke.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Mahomes.
He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire.
And for the moment, this will be a first down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands.
Orlando Brown, the former Raven, the guilty party.
Still 3rd down.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there.
And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Allen. And that's complete to Sanders. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Let's go.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Singletary. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Singletary again. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And some room to roam now. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 79 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson.
7 yards the pick up there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30.
And that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 30-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. DeMarcus Robinson.
DeMarcus Robinson there to make the grab. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Butker on for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
We'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive.
Singletary to get the drive started.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Just a yard to go here on second down.
They go right back to Singletary. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. They'll roll him out right. 1st down and more for Allen. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. A big gain there for the Bills.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. Singletary, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. The Bills on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Now Allen. It's caught by Sanders. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run here with Singletary. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. To the air, Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab.
And the Bills are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Bass on for the extra point.
And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
There we go. Good job, good job.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
85 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Gregory Rousseau
Coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off the play fake, Allen. Now he's forced out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Play action. Now it's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. On play action, Allen. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From midfield, here's Allen. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And again, it's Allen. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox.
And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Allen off the play fake. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. A big gain there for the Bills. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Allen. That is caught. It's Beasley. Touchdown, Buffalo. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bills have broken the tie. The touchdown all set up by the big play, one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. KC's offense ready to take over. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes, and this is going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Mahomes now to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. It got his man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
The receivers have been running them ragged, maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go.
And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action. Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Allen. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Defensively, mission accomplished, and now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble, but theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go.
Baby. Let's go!
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Mahomes. Connecting with Hill. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game.
Here's Mahomes.
That's caught left side by Hardman. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing there.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Second and 11 now. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. Butker's kick here is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25.
Allen and the Bills now. Down 34-31. A minute 6 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
Allen.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And that will make this a 4-point game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
Travis Kelce and the Chiefs set to take over again. And the numbers show it, low involvement early. But since he's been involved, it's been a good thing for this offense.
Indeed it has, and when you're able to finally get him going, get him fully integrated into the offense, things feel a whole lot better for your team. It expands everything that they do trying to move the football.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Mahomes will throw. Man open is Robinson. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 45-yard line. Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Mahomes to throw it. To the right side, it's Kelsey. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.